A big thank you to the EA Creator Network for allowing me to capture this early gameplay in Madden 25 for you guys. Now, keep in mind, the version of the game that I'm playing is an early build and is still a work in progress. In this video, we're going to break down 10 tips you need to know before you play Madden 25. Regardless of your current skill level, by the end of this video, you're going to learn something that will actually help you win more games day one. This might be my favorite change of Madden 25. That is a linebacker right there who just leaped into the air like a gazelle and lurked the ball. No special abilities. Don't need lurk artists. Don't need lurker. Linebackers can finally jump. This is Terrell Bernard, I believe. 68 overall. Nothing too crazy. He's 6'1", and he is able to actually jump into the air and pick the ball off. If you've played Madden the past couple of years, you know linebackers have been really, really bad in coverage. And finally, linebackers are once again able to animate, which opens up a ton of different defensive schemes that just haven't really been available the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years of Madden. And by the way, this applies to CPU linebackers in coverage as well. This is a normal defense on the field. Notice how if I were to audible, they are going to match my alignment and widen out right here, right? Because I went to a wide set, they are then going to widen out. If I were to audible into something like, let's go a little bit tighter, we'll go here, they're going to match me again, especially with the defensive backs. You'll see them move around quite a bit. Now, this is what's called a baseline defense. Check out the outside corners here. They don't even care about the alignment of my team. And I can show you this because if I audible, notice nobody on the defense moves at all. You might be saying, okay, well, what if that's not a crazy audible? Well, what if we go from this and we audible, let's say we go down to single back tight doubles. Surely they'll move. They don't. Base align, what that does is that it has the same alignment every single play on defense, no matter what. A lot of people like this for different run defenses and especially for different coverages and blitzes. Now, to do a base alignment, what you have to do here on defense is click the right stick in. That's going to bring up our coaching adjustments. And we're going to go to auto alignment and do base. This is the only place you can do base align in Madden 25. Now, that first clip I showed you, that was default alignment. They're just going to go align based on the offensive formation. Again, let's go to base right here. Man align will show like man coverage always. I don't do man align very often. But baseline will look like this right here. There's no way to unbase align, by the way. Like this is, in previous years, you could do different things. In this game, there's no way to baseline, double baseline, to unbaseline. It is purely a coaching adjustment that you have to make before you ever actually get on the field. And keep in mind, baseline will make your defense look exactly the same regardless of what coverage you call or what coverage shell you select. So you call cover 3, cover 4, cover 2, and your defense will always look exactly the same. Madden 25 has 4 different catch types in this game. Now, the first one we're going to be going over is the possession catch. All you need to do for that is when the ball's in the air, just hold A or X on PlayStation, and your receiver's going to do a catch animation that gets him down. You can do this sometimes when it's kind of like tight windows. If you're a little bit close to the sideline, check this out. You don't really want like more yards. You just want to make sure you get your feet in balance. That's where the possession catch plays a big factor. Or let's say 4th and 2 right here, right? Boom, hit this tight window, get down. Holding A or X. You don't have to spam it. I just hold it. Now, the next type of catch is called the rat catch. This is pretty basic. It's a run after catch. We're going to hold X on PlayStation or X on Xbox. X on Xbox. Square on PlayStation, and that's going to give you a rat catch where your receiver's just looking to get downfield after the catch, right? You're at a higher risk of dropping the ball if you get hit while making this catch, but you have a higher chance to actually, get yards after the catch, which can be a very big deal and a massive difference maker in your passing game, especially if you throw short, all right? The next one is going to be the aggressive catch. That's by holding Y or triangle, and you can see right there, like he's going to actually kind of attack the ball a little bit more, right? I like to do this if I'm throwing deep down the field in tight windows. You can kind of see that right there. He's going to jump up in the air. I really like this, especially like this little pro tip for you guys. Let's say I'm throwing this corner route and it's a tight window. I'll actually click onto this guy and then I'll aggressive catch it with Y or triangle. And that's going to like really attack the ball and box out the defender. Another example is let's go right here, right? Boom. That's a little bit of an aggressive catch, but not the best example. The next one though is going to be the spec catch. This is brand new this year. When you throw the ball, if you hold LB or L1, you'll see the one-handed snag like we got right there. There's some pretty high risk. Honestly, the only thing you gain from doing this is kind of like showboating, right? Because you could drop, like I have dropped this numerous times. Let's see if I can actually get a drop right here. Let's go left side. It's just holding LB or L1. Remember, you don't have to spam it. One hand. Good job, Sky Moore, Western Michigan Bronco. Represent, brother. Let's go. Come on. Give me a drop. Give me a drop. Come on. Boom. Drop it. All right, we're snagging everyone. I promise you, you can 1,000,000% drop this ball. It's just holding LB or L1. Do this if you're winning by a lot. Right there, I didn't hold it, so we didn't get the catch. One last one. Drop the ball. Drop the ball. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. He dropped it. There we go. This has high risk, but it's kind of funny if you're blowing somebody out. Do the spec catch. Now, real quick, if you've gotten any kind of value from this video, consider doing me a favor and hitting the subscribe button. Over 90% of people who are watching right now just aren't subscribed, and it seriously does help this channel and this video out by telling YouTube that, hey, you actually enjoyed it, you subscribed, and that it should get shown to more and more Madden players just like yourself. You'd be doing me a huge favor. And now, let's get back to the video. So the hot routing system in Madden 25 actually got a super overhaul. I want to break this entire thing down. So first and foremost, every receiver who's on the line of scrimmage, that's including our outside wide receivers, our slots, and our tight ends, all now have post routes and corners. So the way we can open this up is hit Y or triangle, and then let's select our slot wide receiver by hitting B here. And you can see with the right stick, we can get a corner route, or we can get a post route. These are both brand new. Now with the left stick, we could do a streak, out route, in route, curl, and then we can also do a drag and a slant. But this post and corner is a really big deal because this used to be only with Slot Apprentice or Hot Route Master. With our tight end, there's a few more changes, right? We get the out route, we get the in route, we get the streak, and we get the curl. That's all basic. You've probably seen that before. But now we get the tight end slant, which has been out of Madden for quite a while. We get the tight end post route, very similar to the slant. And then also the tight end corner. There's no more tight end delays like there used to be in previous years. So delay fades, as far as I know, are kind of out of the game. You could also, flat him or pass block him as well. And then our outside wide receiver, he's also going to get this post route. His corner route is actually going to be what we call a C route, just because this is the shape of a C. And then instead of an out route, he's going to get a speed out, all right? Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, what routes have we lost by, adding in the post in the corner? Well, there's no longer a zig here, as you can see on my slot wide receiver. You can't do that. And my slot wide receiver can only go upfield on a streak. He doesn't have a fade route anymore. Okay, so keep that in mind. The post has gotten rid of our fade. At our halfback spot, this guy's changed a good amount. There's no longer a wheel route from our halfback, okay? Instead, that becomes a flat route. And I actually really like this for like shotgun formations. I love the halfback flat. And then also if you go down, instead of a check and release, it's now a triple option. He could sit against zone coverage, or he could cut left or right against man, depending on where he sees leverage. You also can no longer do an option route. The left trigger is block and release, a little bit different. Now, things change a lot when you get running back apprentice, slot apprentice, tight end apprentice, or if you get something like Hot Route Master. So Patrick Mahomes here, he is Hot Route Master. And what we'll see if we open up the Hot Route menu is the D-pad here, okay? The D-pad options, all using, the D-pad in your controller. This is where you're going to get the zig route. So if we look on our left side, you have the zig right here from Rice, right? Or we can do a deep cross. We could do a short cross, which I really wouldn't ever use, right? You have slants, you have drags, you have deep cross. Don't really use a short cross. Or you could also do a wheel route. If you look at the tight end routes, he could also do a wheel. He could do a deep cross. He could do a trail route. Or he could do a hook. It's also called like a snag. Our outside wide receiver has some interesting ones with the Bang 8. He's also going to have the option to do a deep cross, a triple option like the running back has, kind of similar, and then also a deep dig. The running back, big thing right here, he has the corner. You can do a post route. I don't use these too much, but the Texas route is always lethal from the running back, and so is the halfback wheel. Again, you either need Hot Route Master or you need running back apprentice to actually unlock the running back, halfback wheel, Texas, all that stuff. But this is a major change. I'm going to go over one more big change of hot routing a little bit later here in the video. Let's see if we can do a quick dot to the hook. We'll take 5 yards, boys. This game has some of the coolest, motion stuff that I've ever seen before in a Madden. Check out this one right here. We did a motion out comeback route, and that was all auto motion. There's a ton of what's called cheat motions in this game. Now, we're in the Dolphins playbook. It's literally in every playbook, I think. And you see what it looks like right here, right? We see the PA cheat dagger, the cheat inside zone, the PA cheat comeback, and it's all over here, right? Cheat inside zone, cheat flat X post. It's in pistol, right? Let's go into the tight while flex. See a cheat halfback double pass. cheat tight end double pass. I didn't even know this was in here. And some of the times, like, the cheat is going to be like a straight, like, jet motion. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit of an arc motion. You see right here, it's built into the run game. There's so many different auto motion type plays. And what's really, really cool is, right, let's say you don't necessarily want the motion, okay? A lot of these plays have really good built-in routes. So right here in the bunch, there's actually like a really good post route right here from Tyreek Hill. But I don't want, let's say I don't want this cheat motion. We could just streak this guy and just use the play for what it is, right? And then, you know, if the post is open, we can throw the post. Or right here, you know, we have this little snag route open. But these cheat routes, for the most part, they have like entire mini schemes built into them. So right here, you see the cheat inside zone. But then you see the PA cheat divide wheel. So it all looks the same. Then you see the RPO zone alert cheat. Almost every single kind of cheat motion I've seen has had at least one play kind of building off of it. And you can see right here, boom, go to the, or we go to like the little like screen right there. That is really tough to defend. As soon as we're able to do something like the play before, where we could just keep that same auto motion. Let's go PA cheat divide wheels. Everything's exactly the same right here. Let's let him get all the way across. But now we're calling an entirely different play, right? And let's see, what do we get? We didn't get enough time right there. Let's do it one more time. See if we can hit him with the bomb real quick. Because this tight end wheel is actually really good. So is the post route. And we could just throw B as well, it looks like. Let's see what we got, what do we got, what do we got? Do we have X super late? We do. I think it's going to be a bomb. That's a laser. We're going to say you got both feet in bounds. Like this stuff, dude, usually you get like one-off plays. These are all like built-in mini schemes all across the playbooks in this game. When passing the ball in Madden 25, you want to do everything you can to have this ability on your quarterback. It's called Passing Elite, and Justin Herbert has it where we're going to have increased throw power when leading bullet passes, okay? So the two caveats to get this thing to work is that we need to bullet pass by holding the button down, and we need to pass lead using the left stick. We do these two things, we're going to get increased throw power. And I want to show you how big of an impact this has, okay? So check out this corner route on the right side. We're going to throw him with Justin Herbert. So we do this, go to throw him, bang. You see how fast that ball gets there. We'll throw it again just so you get a really good idea of how fast this ball can actually get there. Really get it ingrained in your brain, right? We do it again. Boom. Ball gets there pretty fast. Now, I'm going to sub in Jared Goff. A pretty good quarterback, but he doesn't have pass lead elite, unfortunately, okay? So let's go here, sub in Jared Goff. Let's go back to the exact same play. Same corner route, same defense. And when we throw this ball with Jared Goff, what we're going to see here is that the ball gets lofted just significantly more, right? It just takes longer to get there. Now, that does not mean you can't pass the ball without that pass lead elite ability. And just to showcase, you see no superstar X factors, means he doesn't have the ability. Doesn't mean you can't pass at all, but the difference is pretty big. And the reason it's so important is that if the ball travels to the receiver faster, that means the defensive backs literally just have less time to react on the ball, right? Meaning that you can fit your pass into tighter windows. It's harder for them to knock it out. It's harder for them to intercept it, swat it, all that good stuff. It is a massive, massive deal and a huge difference maker. Again, you can pass the ball without it, but dang, it is a lot easier if you have the pass lead elite ability. Also, set feet lead works very similar. So the kickoff game is entirely different this year in the NFL and in Madden 25. Now we have the normal and heavy kickoffs. Heavy is just going to be a little bit heavier personnel, pretty straightforward. Keep in mind, onside kicks now can only be done in the fourth quarter when you are losing. But there's something I want to point out here. If we just choose a normal kickoff, go up against a regular kick return, there's 3 different kick types we can do. The default one is placement. And this is just going to be pretty straightforward. You kick it. Right there, we got almost max power. And you'll see this ball goes about to the goal line, give or take, depending on who your kicker is. Yada, yada, yada. They get to return this. Cool. It's nothing crazy. That honestly is whatever. What I like to do, though, is the deep kick by pressing Y or triangle. If we do this, this is actually going to kick the ball almost out the back of the end zone. If your kicker has high kick power, it will go all the way out. This will give them the ball, I believe, on the 30-yard line. I think it's just the easiest thing you could do to avoid any kind of kick returns. Now, what I never do is the power squib. This is really bad. So if we do the power squib right here, full power, you will see that they're just going to catch this ball with a head full of steam. And yeah, they almost return that. Don't do the power squib. And especially don't try the power squib with no power, because that'll actually make the kick go super short, which if it doesn't cross this like green line, it's going to be a penalty to the 40-yard line. So keep that in mind as well. I'll show you this green line I'm talking about. Check this out. All your kicks have to pass this line, or else it's an automatic flag. They get the ball at the 40-yard line. You don't want that. You can see it a little bit right above the returners. It just disappeared. That green line, got to get it past. Power squib is not the way to do it. So we talked a lot about the kickoff game, but the kick return game has changed quite a bit in Madden 25 as well. We're going to break this down. There's going to be two main formations you're going to see at first in the kick return game. The first one being the normal, which is going to have return left, return middle, return right, and then return trap middle. This is actually a really cool return, especially if you're familiar with like how trap blocking operates in the run game. Now, heavy is actually going to be very similar. Only difference in heavy is going to be the front wave of the return team going to have more offensive linemen. Pretty straightforward. But the cool one here is the trick. Now we have return reverse left, we have returner read option, and then we also have return reverse right. The one I like the most and what I started this segment with is the returner read option because, well, one, I've had like a lot of success doing this, and two, these guys are going to cross paths every single time. And if you can line it up, and it can be a little bit tricky to line it up, and tap LB or L1 on PlayStation, you can actually hand this ball off and go the opposite way. Or, because it's a read option, you could just keep it yourself. Let's see if we actually can just, boom, keep it ourselves. Why not? And we actually get a pretty big return right here. This is really good against users who are, obviously coming downfield in online play because they don't know which way you're going, and you can just hand it off or keep it based on which way they're cheating. Let's see if we can hand it off again right here. Again, it can be a little bit tricky. And yeah, the big thing is that as the ball carrier, you really want to try making sure that you get the other guy coming on like your back shoulder. So the one further away from the kickoff team. So let's see if we can get it right here. It can be a little bit tricky. There we go. We get it. Boom. Can we get a big gain? No, I'm going to go for the hurt. That was fire. That was actually fire. But I've seen this be pretty big gains a good amount of the time. And again, you don't have to even run the read option laterally, right? Like side to side. You could just take this rep the middle if you wanted to, or try to, and then get to the sideline. And you can do that. Or just call a fair catch, and you will get the ball at the 30-yard line. So there was actually a huge change to read options this year, where if you want to keep it with your quarterback, you actually have to hold A or X on PlayStation to literally pull the ball and to keep it. So I'll show you a few more examples of that right here, where we're just going to read this defender with the R over him, and we want to keep it with our quarterback. We have to hold A or X to hold on to it, and then if we want the running back to get it, we just touch nothing and just run with the running back. So let's see if we can just pull it this time. Yep, hold A or X. Beautiful. And then on the next play, let's go right here. I'm going to intentionally like not make the read, and I'm just going to hand it off, which again, literally is just touching nothing. So it's actually like the reverse of what it was previous years. The way I think of it, and like the way I got it down pretty fast, was to keep it, you have to pull it, and to pull it, you have to press a button. Pretty much. Wow, Derrick Henry just got like absolutely his kneecaps just torn. Let's go read option. Let's go see if we can read this guy right here. And I'm going to see if we can, we're going to keep it. Good. And again, to keep it, hold A on Xbox, X on PlayStation. Now my user on this play is Franklin here in the middle of the field. Franklin's just running around in circles and is totally lost. And when the offense goes to throw this deep out route, it's wide open. There's nothing we can do. But this play, we're going to do the same thing. My user's going to be totally lost in the middle of the field. And when I see this out route getting open, we're actually going to do something called switch sticking onto the flat defender, and we're going to pick that ball off. Now, what is switch sticking? What is the power of it? What can it really do? Well, let's spy out my defensive line here. I want to showcase what switch stick really is. And this is way different than just tapping B or circle like we could do in previous years. We snap the ball. I want to go to the right side CPU defender. I flick my right stick to the right. Now we're over here. Let's say I want to go back into the middle. We're going to flick the right stick to the left to go in the middle. This is going to switch you onto the defender in the direction that you're switching. Let's say we want to go to the left again. We'll do it again right here. Now we're on to this guy. We run all the way back. And let's say we go to the left again. Where do we go? We go onto that deep outside quarter on the left side of the field. You kind of see the idea here. The power of this is insane because a route that is about to be open, we can switch stick onto the nearest defender by using the right stick and take it away. Best example is, again, look, this out route, open, right? Able to throw it pretty easily, no questions asked. Simply by switch sticking, we can bait our opponent into throwing this and then take it away and get it for a pick. Boom, right here. Let's see, can we pick it? Boom, we drop it, jammed his fingers. He's on defense for a reason. Who cares? Now, this is huge for getting turnovers, but there's actually a few rules that go into this, okay? So first and foremost, it has to be on a pass play. You can't switch stick on run plays. So they got to be passing the ball. Second rule is that your user needs to be in a coverage assignment. Right here, he's in a blitz. We cannot switch stick on a blitz. He has to be in a coverage assignment. This could be a zone. It could be a man up. It could be a quarterback spy. Just cannot be blitzing. And then the third rule is that the ball has to be in the quarterback's hand still. When he throws the ball, that's when you want to click on by pressing B or circle on PlayStation and go to make a play like that. So he has to be holding onto the ball. Then we can switch stick. Right here, I can't switch stick. My user was in a blitz assignment. He has to be in a coverage assignment. Then we can switch stick. Boom. Come down to the flat right there. Can we lurk it? Almost. You can see the power of switch sticking. I'm telling you, if there's anything that's going to change Madden for the rest of ever, it is the switch stick. I've seen how powerful this bad boy is. It is absolutely nasty. And if you want to get good at one thing in this game, outside of passing the ball, get good at switch stick, dude, because you're going to win a lot more games. I said there's only going to be 10 tips, but we'll just call this a bonus tip. I don't care. Why not? Look at this corner route on the left. Mr. Dortch is on a nice little red, crispy corner route. Now, let's look at that corner route again. And now, let's look at that corner route one more time. He's on a very short corner route. How am I changing the depth of this? I'm doing something called custom stems, which is a massive addition to Madden 25. The way we're going to do this is bring up our hot route menu, which is by tapping Y or triangle, and then let's select our receiver. In this case, we want to do Dortch, so we select him. And if you look at your panel, you'll see LB, or L1 on PlayStation, is custom stem. You have to hold that, but then by pushing the left stick while holding it, you can custom stem this route to cut deeper or cut shorter on the field, depending on what you want. Now, there's a few rules for this, right? Not every single route can be custom stemmed. You really don't want to do, like, a lot of times, you don't want to custom stem a corner route 50 yards downfield because, look, if we do this, right, we just won't have time for him to develop. Probably. Maybe we do? No, we don't. Okay. So you just don't have time. And certain routes can only be custom stemmed on certain parts of the field, so you kind of have to get a feel for your offense. But this is massive because one of my favorite things are these short custom stemmed corner routes. And let's see if we can actually get Dortch open here on this short corner on the left side. Oh, we're going to see. We could go underneath him. No, we're going to get him late. Dortch laser beam. I had to show you guys these. And look, this works on, like, let's go post route on Marvin Harrison Jr. Well, now that post route's going 50 yards downfield. Or we can make it go not 50 yards downfield. Curl route? What about a 50-yard curl route? Let's see. Boom. Just like that. I mean, that's like 30 yards. You guys get the idea. Let's see. Can we hit the 50-yard curl? Let's see. Let's roll, Kyler. Get out of there. Okay. We are not going to hit that, are we? Maybe. Yeah. No. 50-yard curls, probably not in the repertoire. Custom stems, though, are like almost an every down type of thing to use and add into your offense. Now, this game has added a ton of new plays. If you want to check out some of those, you need to click on this video right here where I broke down the 15 coolest new plays in Madden 25.